I want to talk about how we can improve as coaches, players, and then a topic that I don't think is addressed enough is parents. Um, what's one thing as an assistant coach, as a strength coach, or someone who doesn't have the HC title behind their name or underneath their plaque in their office? What's one thing that I can do to help the head coach? And then what are some things that the players can do to help the head coach, put us in a position to be successful or to grow or learn? I mean, throughout the course of a season, I've been involved with, I don't even want to know how many teams I've worked with, to be honest with you, but I know for a fact that the coaches are better at the end of the season for whatever reason, whether it's learning players or all of a sudden they want to read books and all this stuff. But it seems like we're always better at the end. It's kind of like we get the test before we get the we get the test before we get the classwork. You know what I mean? That type of thing. What's some things that we can do to help the coaches become more successful early on in the season? I mean, how do I open up and just make us feel more willing to learn or even be loved, if you want to call it that, from our coaches?
An assistant coach's primary job is to do everything in their power to support the head coach and to proactively take things off of the head coach's to-do list, if you will, that allows them to focus on the most important things. So if I was an assistant coach, I would be asking myself, what can I do to make my head coach's job easier, to make their life easier? How can I add value to them? Can I get to the gym early and sweep the floor so that the head coach doesn't have to worry about sweeping the floor and doesn't have to worry about assigning someone to sweep the floor? What can I do to add value and to make their life easier? That should be your number one goal. And then you should have a conversation with the head coach where they tell you specifically what it is that they need from you. Depending on the sport, depending on the level, sometimes assistant coaches are given very specific roles. You will always be in charge of our scouting report. You will always be in charge of setting our defense. You will always be in charge of making sure the kids are getting to class and taking care of their academic needs. So a good head coach is going to delegate certain responsibilities. So as an assistant, you want to make sure you're doing that job to the best of your ability, but then proactively looking for ways to make the head coach's life easier. What can you do? If you hear there's a problem with one of your players in their Spanish class, instead of waiting for that to trickle down to the head coach, can you as an assistant step in and help that child or speak to the teacher or do something so that before it even gets to the head coach, you've proactively found a way to resolve it? Because the more time your head coach has to spend doing things that are not related to coaching and teaching, then it becomes a distraction. Same thing with players. Players, turn your volume up on this. This is really important. And this will certainly speak to what Rob does as a performance coach as well. As a player, it is your job to get yourself in peak physical condition. Every moment that your coach or every minute that your coach has to spend conditioning you during practice is a minute that they are not teaching you the game. Every minute that your coach has to discipline you for things that you're doing off the court, bad behavior, is a minute that they're not able to teach you and to pour into you. So if you discipline yourself and you get yourself in great physical shape and you stay out of trouble and you do your classwork, then your coach can spend all of their time teaching you how to play the game and teaching you all what you need to do to increase your chance of winning. And every moment that they don't get to do that gives your team less of a chance to be successful. So, I was told very young, and this has stuck with me, it's been close to 40 years. This has stuck with me. A coach said, Alan, if you learn to discipline yourself, others won't have to. And I was like, wait, so you're telling me if I have high self-discipline, then no one else is going to have to discipline me. I'm not going to get in any trouble. Okay. I like that. Yeah, I can do that. I can do what I'm supposed to do. And that just resonated with me and made sense. So everybody's job, player, coach, and parent, should be to make the head coach's job as easy as possible so that they can do what their primary job is to do, which is to lead.